to the 2014 Eyegore Awards. Tonight, Rick Baker, Al Landis, Robert Kirkman, Chris Hartman, Greg Nicotero, Danny Trejo, Robert Rodriguez, and Slash with Miles Kennedy. Please welcome, from Hollywood's first family of makeup and the star of the hit Sci-Fi Channel series Face Off, ladies and gentlemen, your mistress of ceremonies, Mackenzie Westmore.
Eyegore Awards and the opening of Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Hollywood. Yeah. So how's everyone doing tonight? Come on, you can do better than that. How is everyone doing tonight? Yeah. Now, are you ready to face the delicious evil that awaits you? Are you ready for Dracula, Untold's Reign of Blood, or a visit to the Twister in From Dusk Till Dawn? Are you ready to encounter an Alien versus Predator? Or even an American Werewolf in London? Yeah. Are you ready to feel the slash of our freakish clowns? How about this? Are you ready to fight off horrifying creatures from the set of Face Off? Are you ready to run the gauntlet to Terminus, or will you be engulfed by The Walking Dead? You guys are all too happy about that. I love it. As darkness falls, these terrifying nightmares will all come to life. More shocking, more demented, more blood-curdling than ever before. And I can't wait. Tonight's Eyegore Awards honors several of the diabolical geniuses responsible for the terror that will soon consume you all. So let's not kill any more time and let's get to these awards. Our first presenter is a true pioneer in motion picture makeup. His incredible talents have made us believe in gremlins, aliens, superheroes, werewolves, Grinches, and that Robert Downey Jr. was actually an African-Australian actor. Please welcome count them, seven-time Academy Award winner and previous recipient of an Eyegore Award, Mr. Rick Baker.
I actually met Mackenzie's dad, Mike, when I was 20 years old, and I wanted to be a makeup artist, and he was very kind to me, so please give him my regards. So they've written a whole bunch of stuff for me to say tonight, but I forgot to tell them that I can't really read, so I'm just going to speak from the heart, you know, and when it's talking about John Landis, that's easy for me to do. Little did I realize, let's see, it's been 43 years. Little did I realize 43 years ago when I met this loud, hyperactive, talks like a sailor, but very talented young man, the impact that he would have on my life, my career, and on the film industry. I mean, I was thinking about, I've thought about this a lot, but I mean, I wouldn't be the Rick Baker that I know and love if it wasn't for John Landis. You know, I mean, when he asked me to do my second film, his first film, Schlock, I was 20 years old. I still lived with my parents. My bedroom was my makeup laboratory. And I was, I'm an only child. I was kind of very quiet and shy, and this was my sacred little place. And then this wild human tornado of a man comes into my room, and he's all over the place saying all this crazy stuff, and he's really liking it, but he really scared me. But like I said, I had no idea the impact that meeting this guy would have on my life. Because of doing Schlock, which was a really fun film to do, but John was smart enough to put Forrest J. Ackerman, the editor of Famous Monsters, in the movie, and because of that, Forry did a nice article on Schlock. He ended up doing an article on me, and Famous Monsters of Filmland, that was my magazine. I mean, that's where I read about my heroes, Jack Pierce and Dick Smith and John Chambers and all that stuff, and I was in that magazine. I mean, that was the coolest thing ever, and then he asked me to do American Werewolf in London, and because of that, I won. Yeah, it's a good movie. It still holds up quite well. Because of that, I won my first Oscar, which I could not believe. Because of American Werewolf, and Michael Jackson called John to do Thriller, and so I got to work on the Thriller video, which was such an amazing thing to do, and got to know Michael, and Michael actually dedicated a song to me on one of his last CD, which I thought was very cool, and John was the first person to tell me, there's this like Italian producer that's going to do a remake of King Kong, and I was going, oh my God, they're going to get some idiot and put him in a gorilla suit, and I couldn't, we were shaking our heads and couldn't believe it, and I was right. I was the idiot that was in the gorilla suit. And thank you very much, John. I would lose 5 pounds a day in sweat, and it's his fault, but the list goes on and on, Coming to America, I made my connection with Eddie Murphy and went on to do all his films with Eddie, He had such an impact on my life, and he asked me to do a film called Into the Night and to play a dope dealer in this movie, and that's where I met my wife Sylvia, who was playing a part that John said to her, I'm going to offer you a part that you were born to play, which was a hooker. But anyways, I was kind of in the scene where I was a dope dealer, but there was this cute hooker, and now we're married, and I have a beautiful daughter who's in the audience tonight as well, and none of this would have happened if I never met John on that one day where he scared me, so he has meant so much to me. He's meant so much to the film industry, the films that he's made. He created genres. Animal House created basically the teen movie. The gross out teen movie. American Werewolf with a combination of horror and comedy. It hadn't been done like that, and it's still a great film. It holds up great today, and I'm so excited to come see the Maze tonight and see what happens. So they asked me to introduce these film clips to talk about John's career. So we're going to do that. First, we're going to look at some film clips, and then I'm going to present John with the awards. So let's look.
It's a full moon. Beware the moon and stick to the road. Oops.
It's my great honor to present the very first Eyegore Award to what year is this? 2014, to my friend and I think an outstanding filmmaker, Mr. John Landis.
Well, I got this for 2 movies. Or actually, a movie and a short. I would like to thank Universal Studios Hollywood. I would like to thank Rick Baker for a lot more than this, but for this too. Listen, I'm delighted to be here the same year that Robert Rodriguez is getting one. I saw Greg Nicotero, but apparently he already has one, so I don't know what he's doing here. But I would like to thank John Murdy, and I'm embarrassed because I don't know Chris. What's Chris's last name? Chris Williams, because I've been through the American Werewolf in London Maze, and it's extremely cool, and it will scare the shit out of you. They really do honor David Naughton, who's here tonight, and the work of Rick Baker. They did a great job. Have fun tonight at Universal Halloween Horror Nights, and thank you, I think, for this.
Congratulations, John. All right, so The Walking Dead continues to be amazing ratings for AMC. Storylines merged with unmatched production values and all the what the F moments you could ask for. So to present the next Eyegore Award, please welcome the host of AMC's Talking Dead, Chris Hardwick, and the creator and executive producer of The Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman.
Share the mic, and it's not going to be awkward. Now it's weird, Kirkman. You're kissing me with your beard.
You love it, you know it.
All right, I'm excited. Chances are, if you've ever seen a movie, any movie, Greg Nicotero was probably involved in some way.
In the 30 years since Greg abandoned plans to go to medical school to apprentice for the great Tom Savini on the Day of the Dead, he has been responsible for designing makeup effect sequences for over, hold on here, 700 films.
That's a lot of films, Greg Nicotero. Please don't gently caress my back. It's weird when I know, but it's weird when a dude caresses a dude's lower back. That's off limits. It's weird.
It's just nice.
All right. So Michael Madsen in the slicing off the copier and Reservoir Dogs, that was Greg Nicotero.
Kathy Bates whacking James Caan's ankles in Misery, also Greg Nicotero.
Joe Pesci squeezing the crap out of Anthony's head with a vice in Casino, also Greg Nicotero. It would be weird if that wasn't him and I just mentioned it.
The gruesome electrocution in The Green Mile, that was Greg Nicotero.
That's right, but it is in his recent work in The Walking Dead that he has finally gotten the recognition that he so richly deserves. Not one other person that I can think of is responsible for the success of that show other than Greg Nicotero.
Honestly, I concur. and I've told Greg as much. I suck. So listen, Greg, whose knowledge and admiration for the horror genre is unparalleled. It is, let's see here, I'm losing where I'm at because you're touching me.
What? What are you talking about? We're just ripping this off the top of our heads.
Exactly. Listen, we all love Greg. Greg is fantastic.
Good save. As the special effects makeup supervisor, Greg and his team created the celebrated, this is how reading works. His team created this ultra-realistic, rotting, decaying. I mean, here's what you have to understand about Walking Dead. You're watching it in HD, it's on television. They could never do a zombie show before because the effects weren't good enough. And every season, he ups the ante on what the effects are, and they zoom in, which for television is absolutely insane. Greg Nicotero single-handedly brought this specific genre to television. And let's not even talk about the fact that he has back-to-back Emmy Awards.
Back-to-back Emmy Awards. And listen, the special effects on this show, I gotta say, when you are there on set in person, they are just as terrifying as they are when, you're watching them on TV. It's absolutely amazing. He's an executive producer on the show. He directs numerous episodes, including the incredible 4th season opener, 30 Days Without Incident, also including the amazing season premiere for season 5 that you'll all be watching very soon. The man is a genius.
We're talking way too much, so let's take a look at some of the iconic moments that Greg has produced over the years on these screens right here.
The power of Christ compels you.
Sweetest guys in the world that you could ever imagine being able to be friends with. Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Nicotero!
Cool. This is very, John, these are cool. Wow, it's really thrilling and exciting to be up here. Robert Rodriguez, John Landis / congratulations to everyone, my friends. There's so many people that I want to thank. There's a giant section over here, which is pretty much everybody from K&B. So guys, clap over there. Those are the geniuses that build what we think of. So congratulations to these guys as well. George Romero, Tom Savini, Dick Smith, Ray Harryhausen. I mean, all these guys. I loved Rick's speech. It drives me crazy that he just winged it and made it all out. It was great. But what I love is that it's our passion. It's what we love to do. I've been doing this for 30 years. I wake up every day, I go to set for The Walking Dead. It feels like it's my first day on the job. I love that. I love that I still learn, that I can get better thanks to the support of all of you guys and Mr. Kirkman, Mr. Hardwick. My wife and my son, I spend so much time traveling. I'm not here very often because the business takes you all over the world. All those clips that you saw wouldn't exist without her, Sherry and Devin, because they support me when I'm gone. So, guys, thank you so much. Have a great night tonight. Thanks to Universal Studios. Very, very exciting. Awesome.
Congratulations. Greg, you're responsible for so many of my sleepless nights, and not in a good way. But can I please come play a zombie? Maybe? All right, well, congratulations again. So we're keeping the next award in the family. Literally. Our next presenter is part of the Eyegore family, receiving his award last year for a remarkable body of work in the action and horror genres. And in turn, he will be presenting to a member of his family for their remarkable body of work. So please welcome the actor that we all love to call the baddest man to ever make good in Hollywood, Danny Trejo.
Wow! This is cool. You know, this is an honor. I'm just being here is an honor. And they were asking me about what I thought about the Eyegore Awards. And to me, the Eyegore Awards are like the badass of the Oscars. You know, don't get me wrong, man. Oscars, like, that's the shit. You know? But you get an Oscar for like, you get an Oscar for like, ooh. You get an Oscar for like, oh. You get an Eyegore Award for and screaming, And that's what I love about it. And not many directors can claim they raised money for their first film by selling their body to science. And again, Robert Rodriguez isn't just any filmmaker. The $7,000 he raised as a guinea pig allowed him to write and direct a low-budget action classic, El Mariachi. Which launched the career of one of the great filmmakers of our generation, of all times. Despite working with smaller budgets, Robert has continued to deliver huge results with a diverse range of movies. Action films, like the Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Desperado. Machete. And the family trilogy, Spy Kids. And then widely innovative Sin City. But it was in horror that Robert truly found a new special talent with films such as The Faculty, Planet Terror, and I just thought about Planet Terror, and with his collaboration in 1996 with Quentin Tarantino, that established Robert Rodriguez as the master of horror from dusk till dawn. And that's considered a cult classic of the genre, continued deeply as a cutting-edge television series on El Rey Network. And now a live experience here at Hollywood Horror Night. Let's take a look of an artist and a troublemaker and an icon of independent filmmaking, the rebel without a cruise, Robert Rodriguez. You be cool. Eyegore Award to my family, my friend, the founder and chairman of El Rey Network, and one hell of a filmmaker, my best pal, Robert Rodriguez.
Thank you, Universal. Eyegore. Some great, Johnny Depp lost 2 eyes in Once Upon a Time, Mexico. It's a very fitting award. Michelle Rodriguez lost 2 eyes in Machete. So I love that they named this the Eyegore. It's great to be presented by, from ex-con to icon, Mr. Danny Trejo. We've been working together so long. I remember when I went to him on the set of Desperado, because nobody knew who the star of the show was. We were in a small town in Mexico, but everyone gravitated towards Danny, and they thought he was the star of the show. Because he just had this look, and I knew that that was a star presence that nobody had. So I went up to him back then, this was in '94, and he said, someday you're gonna be in a movie called Machete. I've got this character named Machete. 15 years later, we made it. So even his mom would call him Machete. He became known as Machete even after he did 200 films. So that's the kind of person Danny is. He'll take a character and make it so iconic that you can't even think of him as anything else. So to be presented by him and alongside Greg Nicotero, who, 18 years ago, we did Dusk Till Dawn together. And now we're here at Universal Studios to celebrate Dusk Till Dawn again, just as a television series on El Rey, and they have a maze that we'll get to walk through. So I've seen the titty twister be built 3 times now. Once in the original film, once on the series, and now tables are turned. I get to go get scared of my own maze. I'm gonna practice the scream I always heard my mom give when we'd sneak up behind her. She had 10 kids, so she had no nerves. All her nerves were shot by the end. You just walk up behind her, you'd have to whistle, before you came into the kitchen, otherwise she would scream. Blood-curdling scream I've never heard in a movie. I'll attempt it tonight. And we'd walk into a restaurant and somebody would drop something. She would just scream and not even realize the scream came out of her mouth. I'd walk by and say, Mom, you just screamed really loud. She'd go, really? Yeah, you walked and the person dropped the thing and you went, ah! Scared the crap out of her. Anyway, that's what I'll sound like tonight at the maze. And you too. Thank you all for this. Great to be here alongside icons who made me scream from the beginning. John Landis, watched American Waffle and did so much growing up and admired so much the work and used to read about in my Fangoria magazine, the work of Rick Baker and what they did. So inspired me to be a filmmaker and get to do this stuff. I know it's stuff me and Greg Nicotero talked about all through the making of Dusk Till Dawn, doing practical effects where things were done really with your hands, and it's so cool to see that the still tradition is alive. And we wouldn't get to do what we do if it wasn't for the audience, because unless there's people out there screaming, we'd just be standing up here, on an empty stage. So thank you all for keeping horror alive, because that's what inspires us to keep getting to play with makeup effects and make people scared. It's our dream, and we're glad you're a part of that and make that happen. So onward, let's keep it going, Universal. Let's keep scaring the shit out of people.